TikTok just provided a lethal blow to content creators and influencers on their own platform by releasing what's called Symphony digital avatars. Check this out.
Hi there, my name is Adrienne. Well, not Adrienne, but TikTok's latest Symphony digital avatar. I am a custom avatar born from TikTok's latest generative technology. What I love about my job here at TikTok is that we're building for the future of creativity and marketing. And today, thrilled to unveil our new Symphony digital avatars right here and now. We believe this technology has the potential to fuel the creator economy and offer new avenues for creators and marketers to scale their content globally. In fact, I can now speak over 30 different languages, from Espanol to Francais.
That's
Ich
cool.
kann Deutsch sprechen, Ribenyu Molyu Chang ni Hwasemas. When it comes to innovating with AI, we are focused on putting creators at the center of our strategy and taking an authentic and responsible approach when it comes to building new, innovative tools. We look forward to continuing to listen to our community and build alongside the industry in order to take creativity to the next level on TikTok with you.
Not sure how that helps creators. Alex Cooper says, TikTok just dropped something huge. They released their generative AI Symphony avatars, which will allow any brand or creator to make videos like this in seconds. Brands will be able to put their own custom avatars or partner with creators and license their avatar for commercial use. Having this baked into the TikTok Creative Toolkit is going to speed up mainstream adoption of AI video and have a massive impact on organic content. This is literally generative content. In a world where everybody can do this and type in a prompt and within a few seconds have a video be generated for them, what is going to stand out the most? It's going to be people that actually put in the effort to film real world content, because at the end of the day, that's really going to be the only thing that stands out among all this AI generative slop for creators and marketers to scale their content globally. So this could be an interesting thing where, as a creator, I might be potentially able to upload my likeness, which then would allow somebody like another company or a brand to then use my likeness to create an AI avatar. And then some way I would be able to make money from that as the creator with the AI avatar as something that's representative of me. Now, long term, do I think this is a good idea? Definitely not. Especially as an organic content creator myself, having organic distribution with content and an audience that is following me for some reason is generally going to be more valuable for my long-term goals and business use cases. Because I'm not necessarily trying to make a couple bucks by having someone use my digital avatar. I'd much rather focus in on my own stuff. And while staying on this topic of content creation, it's really important to note that the most important thing is consistency. When I first started creating content, I remember I posted almost 150 videos before I had even, I think, 1,000 followers on Instagram. I was trying different styles, different forms of editing, different types of content in general. And through that entire process of creating those first 150 videos, I realized how to film myself, how to edit, how to add captions, all the general stuff that you would think that you would want to know before creating content. You actually learn through doing it. Now, having an AI kind of take away all of that experience, in my opinion, could be extremely detrimental, especially to the creator themselves. Because in a world where you could just have an AI create the video of yourself for you, there's not really much incentive to sit down and actually film a video, then figure out how to edit it and all these things. So again, in a world where everybody is going in this direction and using AI to create nameless, faceless videos, in my opinion, I'm going to go the exact opposite direction and lean into organic, authentic content that I'm actually creating and filming myself. And that reminds me of another thread from Matt Gray. He says, I've tweeted 657 days in a row and added 330K followers. Here are 4 simple lessons. Write 2 threads per week, engage with 15 people daily, share 2 useful posts per day, comment under large accounts. These 4 pieces of advice are great for Twitter. And we can correlate similar metrics to other platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, where you can create short form content, engage with your audience, engage with other accounts, post stories. But one of the things I wanted to mention here is, rather than trying to focus on creating content on all the platforms all at once, especially when you're getting started, it's really important to focus on one platform with one form of content. Now, you might be thinking like, what is that form of content for myself? Well, if you're comfortable writing, or if you're a really good writer, then focus on Twitter and LinkedIn and writing blog posts and long form content, because you can take that long form content and then use AI to help you turn it into a script for yourself. And I think this is one of the ways that I've started to use AI on a more day-to-day basis that actually allows me to take my content further, because it's the same stuff that I'm creating on a daily basis, but now I can actually post it as a video, as a blog post, as a tweet, all the different things. But it all stems and comes from the raw organic content that I'm actually filming myself. So for me, my top of funnel distribution is going to be YouTube, where I take one long form piece of content. I can then take that one long form piece of content, distribute it into multiple shorter forms or medium length videos, which are anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes long each. And then each of those medium length videos will be cut into multiple short form pieces of content that have easily digestible clips. And then people have a call to action where they can watch the full video to get more information. And this whole entire thing is wrapped within the context of creating and providing value for my audience. So that way they feel comfortable enough to exchange their email address or some piece of information that I can add to my email list, which allows me to then remarket to that list essentially for free. So consolidating the simple lesson, focusing on one platform, focusing on one style of content, and focusing on consistent distribution. If you can do those three things as a creator when you're first getting started for 100 days or 100 videos, I can almost guarantee that by the end of that period, you will be successful with content creation. And speaking of content creation, one of my favorite creators, Colin and Samir, they were at the recent Cannes Festival and talked about how to create more viral organic content. Check this out.
Have you ever watched someone scroll Instagram Reels? Or I'm sure yourself if you do it, it's like the pace that you're scrolling is unbelievable, right? So you actually think about how much time do you have to capture someone's attention? So the two things we did there is, one, we started the shot in motion. So my head is turning as the shot starts. The second thing is we wanted to be able to see the edges of a mirror. So you're looking at someone looking at themselves in the mirror, and what we need to prompt you to think about is, how is he filming? And we want you immediately to get curious about like what is happening. And I had to show my hands to go like, I don't have a camera. And then remember what we just said about lists. The rest of the video is actually structured in a list without me saying that it's a list, right? I give you three things that I think are interesting about the glasses without saying, here's three things. That might have been a way we could have made it better, of suggesting the value you're gonna get after that opening shot. But that one, we focus so much on the opening hook. And when we give advice to creators, your first frame and your first 3 to 5 seconds are going to be the decision maker if someone's going to hang around or not. So if you have something to say, if you want them to stick around to the end, obsess over that intro. Obsess over what words are on screen. Obsess over how the shot feels when you scroll by it. Assume that you only have a half a second of someone's time.
Previously, the metric that everyone kind of threw around was you have 3 to 5 seconds or 3 seconds. He's saying you have a half a second. And when you're working on your intro hooks, it's actually really important to start testing a lot of things at scale very quickly, or as quickly as you can. Because the difference between a video that flops and a video that can go extremely viral could be one very simple small change. And here's a really good post that details exactly that.
A 30 million view video versus a 500 view video. There was this guy that he basically interned for me for a little bit, okay? Went off on his own and he started a couple of Instagram pages. One has 600K followers, the other one has about 700K or so. And each of these gets millions of views, right? And he has sponsorships paying him. So like less than a year into it, he's making $1 million a year. And he's probably only 21 years old or so. We did a little catch-up call. I just wanted to see how he was doing. You know, he reached out and he said, you know, he launched this brand new concept. And this concept, when it launched, he put a lot of time and effort into it. It only got 500 views on a video, right? So the change that made it 30 million views versus 500 views is they just added text overlay. That's it. Not even captions. It's just like a little title about what they're going to watch. And that's the only difference. Other than that, everything else is the same.
So did you catch that at the very beginning of the video?
So that means they pretty much hooked them in through text.
Yeah, it was a text hook.
Watch.
That's all. Do you know the difference between a 30 million view video versus a 5?
The strategy that they're talking about, they're using that in this video at the very beginning, from 500 views to 30 million views. And this is exactly what you can use to get hooked into the video with a text overlay. If he's telling you that a simple text overlay was the difference between a 500 view and a 30 million view, the underlying content of that video is actually good. What you need to do is just make that slight modification to the beginning to allow to see what it can actually do with that video, because as it starts to show that video to your followers, and if enough people watch that video for enough amount of time, it's just going to continue to show that video to more and more people, basically until it maxes out as much as it can. So when I'm filming content, one of the things that I try to do is use a dedicated camera, but a lot of the times I'm still going to use my iPhone to film content. And one of the apps that just was released that is probably the best native camera app that you can get for your iPhone is the new Final Cut camera app. Now, I just downloaded this and it's actually incredible because it allows you to do one very simple thing extremely quickly, which is change and update the resolution and the frame rate and the white balance and the exposure and the focus all manually very easily within a very clean, nice and easy to use interface. There is a ton of cool craziness that you can do when you connect it to another iPad, where you can have multiple video streams come in at the same time and record it within Final Cut Pro on your iPad. I don't have an iPad. I don't have any of that. So I just wanted to say that the actual camera app itself is extremely useful. And it's one that I'm going to be using over the native camera app, especially for video from now on. So I highly recommend checking out the Final Cut camera app.